in even your wildest times, have you
Twisting.
ever eaten stinging nettles?
Oh, that's a great question. And thank you very much for having me on the show. No, I've never eaten stinging nettles, but I'm about to.
They look disgusting, they taste even worse, and they actually sting you. So the very last thing you should ever do, obviously, is eat them.
Right.
Look at these lunatics, all munching on stinging nettles, just to remind you, look awful, taste even worse, and actually put toxic materials into your stomach. What do you think of that?
That's another great question. And although it is pretty wacky and wild, I do think it highlights the British
Do you know what?
eccentricity.
I actually agree. You know, to me, I started off thinking it was nuts, and then I thought, actually, it's a fantastic example of great British eccentricity. There's nowhere else in the world where they would have a British stinging nettle competition.
Why are they stinging you?
Well, they did, Fred. When I was 12, I stung my entire lower arm and elbow when I got pushed into a bush. Which is why in this episode, I'm getting involved in the world's nettle eating competition, where I eat as many stinging nettles as I possibly can. I'm Daniel, and this is Trash TV.
Determined to overcome my prickly past, I drove to Dorset a few hours before the competition to pick up any last-minute tips from the locals. Although I was apprehensive about the contest, producer Pete assured me that all contestants were given dock leaves to help with the pain. I asked Gary, the resident DJ, about the event.
I was wondering, so I looked around and I saw some of the nettle bushes and stuff, but I was wondering where the dock leaves were. Do they bring them to the table, or
Dock leaves?
dock leaves to stop the stinging?
Oh, I'm not sure you get dock leaves actually.
Really?
No, you don't get to stop stinging.
Okay. Oh,
Let's go see Oliver. Come with me. Just come this way.
okay, thank you. No dock leaves. Why did you tell me there were dock leaves?
Here's all the nettles.
So these are the nettles we're eating?
Go, you see.
Okay. But yeah, I don't see a lot of...
Don't see any dock leaves. What would you do with the dock leaf though if you had it?
So I was thinking you maybe hold it in your hand or kind of like wipe your face with it. That's kind of just
Have
what...
you done it before?
I've never done this before. I've never eaten a nettle before.
Normally you just pull off a leaf, you roll it up, and you eat it.
You're probably thinking this isn't safe, but I never come unprepared. Not only had I done extensive internet research, I needed to make absolutely sure that I knew the consequences of human nettle consumption. I disguised myself as an employee of a well-known coffee chain.
Oh, would you like any sting nettle salad bites?
No, I'll be fine, thank you.
No? Okay. So in this we've got a nice tomato with feta.
Is that nettle as well?
That's a sting nettle, yeah. So it's a new kind of original concept that we're trying out. I don't know if you'd be interested in trying.
Not if it stings, no.
After consistent rejection, I had a taker.
Did the sting nettles work with the flavour?
There is a sting to it, but it's
It's
everything
nice.
you want. It's sort of savoury, sour.
Yeah, creamy with the cheese and then the...
Yeah, no, definitely.
But you're not in pain?
Not at all.
Not in pain?
No, very
Okay,
nice. Very good.
okay, great.
Right, gotta go.
No, just the back of my tongue a bit.
Right, kind of rough and
Yeah,
Painful.
now it's tingling.
tingles. You're not just trying to be like, put on a brave face.
No, it hasn't got a
You're not hurt?
it hasn't got a-
It's overpowered by the olive.
Right, but do you feel any stinging or... No, nothing really.
No.
It is good for the blood, I mean,
Yeah.
Good for blood.
yeah, because my parents, they were saying, so the metal, if you hit on your legs or in your arms,
It makes you bleed.
it makes your blood goes...
Well, it makes
it
you,
doesn't
it makes you
make
bleed.
you-
You're not bleeding?
No, you wouldn't.
No. Yeah, well, apparently it's coming back. It's the old school food of tomorrow today, I guess. That's what we're saying. Anyways.
So don't worry, viewer. My testes showed no immediate signs of trauma.
You eat it,
And it's not that bad?
it's not bad at all. Have a go.
Okay, so you roll it up. I mean, I'm already stung a little. I mean,
Not stinging, is it?
Are you sure you don't have any dock leaves?
Surprisingly, it was my lips that were sore from stinging. Eating dozens more of these would surely be impossible unless someone in the public that day could tell me something new to avoid the pain.
My best advice.
Thank you very much.
There
Maybe
you
I'll
go.
get a cider or something anyways.
I would do that, yeah.
While my test subjects had dealt so well with the stingers, they did have the distraction of other foods, as well as the perceived endorsement of a coffee mega corporation, making my difficulty eating the food completely understandable. I followed Gary's advice and got myself a cider, but I wondered if anyone had tips and tricks not related to drinking.
I'm just looking for ways to not sting myself so much, you know.
Keep drinking plenty, I should think.
Right, dip in cider, in, swallow.
It might just be a terrible idea. I mean, on the face of it, it sounds like a terrible idea.
I decided to get myself another cider.
Do you have any tips that you might possibly think of?
Enjoy a glass of cider.
I've already had a few, but I don't know, I've still got a bit of anxiety because a few years ago I had an incident where I fell into a bush of nettles. I don't know if you can see the scar. It's somewhat
cleared up.
Well, I can still see it. A lot of people can't. And I just have a bit of anxiety.
I'm not surprised.
No.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, my mum was
I
quite
wouldn't
worried about
recommend
me
it.
at the time.
I can believe what sort of like half your body was covered.
Well, it's just mostly my arm, but I took like half a day off school because of it.
Nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
Exactly.
The contest was looming, and Benjamin Franklin once said, "By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail." I had another cider. I met with Adrian, a Nettle enthusiast, hoping he would have better advice.
And just get them down as quick as possible and wash them down with plenty of whatever your favourite tipple is. But they're a menace when they sting you, because I have an allotment, and I wasn't going to mention it, but I have one. And if I go over there in shorts...
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, yeah, and if I go over there in shorts, you can reassure me I get a cane, and I slash them down, because it's pretty painful down the backs of your legs.
Oh, trust me, in that nettle bush, I still have vivid memories of being in there and
Love the nettles.
Be
Good
one
for
with the nettles.
arthritis, full of energy tomorrow. Really good, vitamin C, iron. Better than a salad.
They can dissolve kidney stones, for instance, and they're a cure for the common cold. They're very good for allergies, for anti-allergies.
So do you think nettles are slightly demonised for what they are, but really?
They're misunderstood.
So I've got a bit of a, like this sweating.
There you go, it'll stop you sweating.
Terry told me a few names of contestants, and I recognised one straight away. It was Noell, my shin-kicking opponent from Trash TV episode 1. I bested him once before, and I was sure I would do it again.
He's a no-show at the moment, which means maybe I'm more likely to win or something, I don't know.
Okay, maybe the fear.
Maybe he's going to make a grand entrance.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's probably the sting in the tail.
And just like that, what I first thought was a confused veteran turned out to be God playing his cruelest joke on me since the incident. It was him.
In order to beat the nettles, you must become the nettles.
Okay.
That's the idea. Have you ever seen a nettle sting another nettle?
No.
No, it doesn't happen.
So I had a bad experience with the nettles when I was a little kid.
Oh no!
Have you got any tips for me or anything?
Ignore the pain and don't forget the trauma of the past.
Don't forget the trauma of the past?
No, do forget the trauma of the past.
Oh,
Always
right.
forget the trauma of the past, man. Bury that shit deep.
Welcome, Nectar, Cider Farm, GT6, HZ.
I was given a paper to sign, and then all I could do was wait for the contest to start. This was it. I had a moment with my thoughts to remind myself just to take one leaf at a time. After all, the taste of pain is better than the taste of regret. I followed the advice of Lindsay next to me and dipped them in my cider. It didn't help, but I looked around and realised that to stand a chance I needed to adopt a far more aggressive strategy. It was then that I made my biggest mistake. Fixated on high-speed nettle consumption, I spilt one of my glasses of cider. I felt so awful, and I was concerned how the audience would see me now. Everyone knows that for athletes, public image is everything. My fears quickly subsided when I realised I could just buy another cider.
Thank you very much.
Back to business. A mixture of cider and stinging had my mouth and face completely numb, allowing me to devour my next stalk with ease.
If you want a duckling for your mouth.
That's to wipe the bottom with.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
You got knock leaves?
I think it should be disqualified.
Me too.
With time running out, I knew I had one last chance to pull ahead, and Joss had a brilliant plan on how to do it.
But if you strip it all the way down, bung it in your mouth for the last 5 minutes, and you can pretend you've swallowed it. Now bung it in your mouth. Right, go for it. 1, 2, 3, go. That was easy, wasn't it? Now the next one. You've overtaken me. Like that. You want me to do that as well?
And for you, it wasn't
All right.
there.
No, I'm 71. I'm like twice as old as you are.
My face is in pain. I'm not.
You're not doing enough masticating.
2 minutes to go.
I felt like I might have just clinched a win, but I was questioning whether that was worth the suffering.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
With everyone's mouths empty, all that was left was to settle the score and decide the champion of the nettle eating world. I'd given it my all.
My name is Daniel Jackson, and I have polished off 4 stalks.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
This was the moment of truth.
1, 2, 12, 13, 26. Count that as 1, 27.
Well done.
Come on. You want shin kicking?
I guess we can call it 1-1.
Call it a draw. That's all good. We'll
1-1.
see each other's
Okay,
score,
can
I'm
I-
sure. Please.
Yeah.
Take it. Yeah, of course. There you go.
When it was in my hands, other than a little dizziness, I felt nothing. In fact, I came away with something you can't put on your mantelpiece.
I don't feel anything at all.
If I could overcome my fear of nettles, I could do anything.
Nothing at all.
I could go skydiving, I could swim with sharks, or maybe I could just race a chicken.
Can you speak more on that? Good.